Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3 Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I'm joined here by Edmonton filmmaker Brandon Reines. He is known for the Grotesque series of films and the I'm Haunted series of films that are found footage on Found TV, and his own YouTube channel called Brandon versus Movies, where we've done a series on the Friday the 13th films, and there's a series that's about to come out on the Nightmare on Elm Street films. We've been doing the Halloween films on my channel here, and we're on the very last one. Can you believe it? There are so many. There are so many movies. But we're on the Halloween Ends, the final movie in the trilogy produced by David Gordon Green, directed by David Gordon Green, and written by him and Danny McBride, and usually some random third person. But what are you going to do, right? This movie is very, very, very silly. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I remember when I saw this in the theater, I'd already heard the wave of bad reviews about it. But I tried to go in being like, I'm going to ignore that because I'll make up my own opinion. But sometimes the mob is right. This is honestly not a terrible movie. It's a terrible Halloween movie.
Yes.
If it was a standalone horror movie, it's well shot, it looks good, music's good, it's competently made.
Yeah.
There's no like stupid mistakes in there. It's not amateur. It's like, wow, this is, and it's in a way well written. Uh, Plot wise, maybe not so much, but it's like, okay, like this is a competently professionally made movie, but it sucks balls and it's boring as hell and it's ridiculous. I don't get it. They've built up. Not only has the Halloween series been built up over the last 40 years,
Yeah.
he's been building it up for two movies of his own movies, and then for this one they just go way off in another direction. They introduce another villain, and Michael Myers is basically a side character in his own movies. He's barely in it, and he's trying to like build up all this new lore
Yeah.
when he knows damn right well he's never going to do another one. And it's like, why? Like, what are we watching? There's a few cool parts in this, but for the most part, what the hell is this? What kind of maniac would decide that this is a good movie to make?
So the background of this movie is the way it starts off is we've got this character named Corey Cunningham, okay? And he's played by Rowan Campbell, who's a Canadian actor. He's really good. He's Billy in the new version of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And so we start off with him, and he is a babysitter, like Laurie Strode, teenage male babysitter. So they make a lot of jokes about that in the first place, that he's a teenage male babysitter. But there is an unfortunate accident that happens while he's babysitting. The kid that he's babysitting is absolutely rotten. Like, this kid sucks.
I want to watch this movie. And I don't really feel like pretending to be best friends with an ugly ass boy babysitter.
This kid really sucks. And he plays this prank where he locks Corey Cunningham in a room, and he can't get out. So what's he gonna do? This kid's off doing whatever the fuck he's doing, and he needs to get out of this room. So he kicks the door in, like he kicks the door open, and it just so happens that the kid was on the other side of the door, goes over a stairwell, falls to his death. And it's one of those moments in the movies where, kind of like when I'm watching Pet Cemetery, when the kid walks out in front of the truck, and you just kind of your breath, you suck your breath in, like that. It was another one of those kind of moments where this kid falls over the stairwell and to his death, and you're just like, oh, nasty. So Corey Cunningham gets in a lot of trouble for this. I believe he's found not criminally liable because he's not in jail or anything like that. But everybody in town thinks that this kid is a horrible psycho, like a kid killer, and everybody gives him a hard time all the time. But do you know who has a soft spot for town psychos? Laurie Strode and her daughter and her granddaughter. Her daughter's dead from the last one. Laurie Strode and her granddaughter, they sure do love psychos. They love town pariahs. So Laurie sets her granddaughter up, Allison, with on dates with this guy, with this Corey Cunningham guy. And he's kind of a hapless loser kind of guy. He takes a lot of shit from everybody, but this one group of teenagers, they really, really don't like him, and they pull a prank that's way too far. They pretty much throw him over a bridge and leave him for dead. Like as one does, I guess. I've never done that as a teenager, but that's what these guys do. And he finds uh, Michael Myers living in the sewers like a Ninja Turtle. Brandon, what do you think of that?
Yeah, the opening scene, I remember that was kind of like the one thing that people would talk positively about. They'd
Yeah,
be like, "Yeah, this movie starts off with a very memorable scene," which in a
yeah,
way is true. That would work as like its own short horror film, that opening
yeah,
scene. But I found when I rewatched this because I wanted to reevaluate it after I saw it in the theater,
yeah,
I was like, I already know what happens, and once you know what happens, the
yeah,
scene's kind of boring. So I
yeah,
ended up just fast forwarding through that part. It's not as
yeah,
good as people remember. And yeah, everything else. Yeah, this Corey Cunningham who's now a pariah. He's being bullied by these band kids. These
yeah,
aren't jocks. I
yeah,
guess I got to give him credit for that. They didn't use the usual jocks as the bullies.
yeah.
They
They're the
used the
music kids.
nerdy band kids.
Yeah,
Whatever, they beat him up and throw him over the bridge. And that's another thing that does. I pointed this out in the first 2018 one, how it doesn't make sense. In that one, Laurie Strode was paranoid that Michael Myers would one day escape and come after her.
yeah,
And he did. In this one, Michael Myers has been missing and living in the sewers, being not really doing much for
yeah,
5 years. But Laurie Strode is no longer paranoid. She's not setting up again for his return. She's just living a normal life in a house,
yeah,
knowing that he's lurking around somewhere.
yeah. And
So, of
she's writing a
course,
book about her experiences with him too. So it's not like he's
yeah,
forgotten. Yeah,
yeah. So that doesn't quite make sense. But, and then all of a sudden, Michael Myers, how would you describe it? Basically passes his evil to this Corey kid, and then Corey basically becomes the killer for the bulk of the movie.
so when I first watched this movie, I thought I was so clever because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, wait a second. His last name's Cunningham, right? And he's basically got this pet serial killer now who's slowly corrupting him and turning him more evil. And he's acting out in different ways and he's starting to speak up for himself and he's starting to, you know, assert himself very aggressively and it's really changing his personality. And his last name's Cunningham. And I'm starting to think, wait a minute, is this movie Christine? Christine with a serial killer? Instead of a car, this Cunningham character? Because in Christine, the guy's name is Arnie Cunningham, right?
Yeah.
This guy's name is Corey Cunningham, and he's got a pet serial killer that's turning him into a serial killer. Kind of like Christine, the car was turning Arnie evil. I thought I was so clever. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to write a dissertation on Letterboxd about how clever I am, about how this movie is basically just Christine but with a serial killer. And then I read that David Gordon Green in interviews was like, yeah, I wanted to make this movie like one of my favorite John Carpenter movies, Christine. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm not clever at all. I'm just some shithead that actually made the connection that he was trying to get me to make. Oh my God. So yeah, this movie basically is Christine with a serial killer. He takes Michael Myers' mask, and the mask starts to make him evil. But eventually, Michael's going to want that mask back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this one he gets into, yeah, it does do the Christine thing where he starts
Yeah,
off as this, hopeless, weak loser,
yeah,
and he eventually becomes cool.
yeah,
Um, where all of a sudden he's like a tough guy and he starts dressing differently and acting
yeah,
differently, but he's corrupted and more evil. And he starts dating Laurie Strode's granddaughter, and she
yeah,
starts kind of, becoming evil along with him, and they're kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde who are fighting against the world, and they're going to run off together, but they don't for some reason. And then all this unnecessary stuff, which is like in this third movie, you should be kind of wrapping things up, or
yeah,
like instead, this one just goes off in a weird direction, and it's mostly just boring stuff I don't care about.
yeah. Some of the kills Corey does on his own, and some of the kills Corey and Michael do together. And yeah, I mean, there's like Brandon said, there's just a bunch of boring stuff that happens. And it really, unless you're completely up your own ass trying to figure out, what the hidden message behind all this is, once you figured that out for yourself, it's really not that interesting. It's really not that interesting of a movie. But I will give them one thing. They didn't lie. It does end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was trying to be clever with the whole nature of evil and kind of like there's so many deeper levels to this, and it's like no, there's not.
Yeah.
There and there doesn't need to be like people that just want a satisfying conclusion to this. And there was a couple pretty cool kills, and the
Yeah.
fight at the end with Michael and Laurie, I guess, was
Yeah,
okay.
that
And
was
I
cool.
like how
Yeah.
they throw his body into the chipper thing
Yeah.
at the end, the metal crusher. That was kind of cool. But overall,
Yeah.
like I don't watch. I didn't spend the last 40 years watching Halloween movies to see a new villain introduced in the damn movie. I want to see Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And they kind of cheated us of that, where he's not in it so much. And then you got this brand new character. This is not even a legacy character that they've built up. This is a
Yeah.
guy we didn't meet till this movie. So like, why is he even in it? They could have this movie could have done well without Corey Cunningham at all.
Yeah.
I like it should be Laurie Strode doing stuff, her
Yeah.
granddaughter doing stuff, the people that
Yeah.
we've seen. But they're like, nah, forget them. They'll be kind of more background characters for this new guy. And it was just overall I think by the end I was kind of like, okay, let's just get sit through this till we get to the next kill. Maybe that'll be cool. And then there's just not a lot of kills. And then yeah, I don't know, it was a downer of a movie.
Maybe they figured that they killed off so many of the characters that pre-existed in the Halloween universe that they needed to add a new guy.
Yeah, it could be like, oh shit, everyone died in the last one. Um, yeah, it's I wanted to like it, and even when
Mhm.
I first saw it, I was like, okay, maybe it's not as bad as everyone's saying. But when I tried to watch it again, like I fast
Yeah.
forwarded the whole opening scene, and I just had a hard time sitting through it. And I haven't watched it again since. Most of the other ones I've seen multiple times.
Yeah.
Some of the early ones I've seen a lot. This one, like I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. I just don't. It's too plain, and I think that's where everyone's like, man, this David Gordon Green guy kind of sucks. He ruined our beloved franchise, and he'd already shot at that point, or was somehow making Exorcist,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh no, this guy that we all of a sudden that we loved in 2018, now we've turned on him. He's doing an even more beloved franchise,
Didn't he
like
bone
the
one of the Alien movies too?
I'm not sure.
I think he did one of the Alien films, and
Oh,
Danny
maybe so.
McBride was actually in it too. No? Okay, I could be
Uh,
wrong.
yeah, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I mean, The Exorcist is another story, but
Yeah.
that's where people started to realize like they just don't like this guy
Yeah.
anymore. And I think I don't know if it was just his own ego. Like he could be a
Yeah.
good filmmaker. These are
Yeah.
well-made movies. He can direct a movie, but why does he put all that extra stuff in there? Just like
Yeah.
all this, just trying to make it more than it is. I don't think he's as clever as he thinks.
Go back to making righteous gemstones, David Gordon Green. Now, what if he had liked other John Carpenter movies more than Christine? Like, what if he had liked The Fog? And in this
Yeah,
movie, in Halloween Ends, if there was a killer Michael Myers fog that would appear for everybody, or if he
that
liked
would have
Escape from
been.
New York best, and Michael Myers had to go and rescue Laurie Strode from New York, and it was a prison colony. That would have been cool, right?
Those would have been okay, but
Mm.
it just seems like that he was setting the story up. They could have like it seemed like it was even after the weird Halloween kills.
Yeah,
It seemed like it was going somewhere.
yeah.
It's like okay, you've been building this up. How do you end this story? Instead, it's like nah, forget about that. We're going to tell a different story. It's like wait a minute, like what about it's such an odd
Yeah.
choice.
But and at the same time, the way he pitched it at the end is, but don't worry, we'll put him through a wood chipper at the end, so there will be an ending. Trust me,
Yeah,
it's gonna end. The only
like his
reson I gave
body
it
was
a score,
destroyed, so should
yeah,
not be coming back in this universe.
unless he comes back as the fog.
So this is a weird series, and I've seen the memes like on Instagram where it
Yeah,
has like the little graph showing the different timelines. Because there is the timeline like the Thorn trilogy, then there is the timeline ignoring that but
yeah,
having H2O and Resurrection. Then there's the one ignoring all of them and having the David Gordon Green series,
yeah,
and then there's a separate Rob Zombie one and the separate 3 one. It begs the question: if they do another Halloween movie,
yeah.
what continuity will it be 100% fresh, or will it be taking off from number 1 or 2 again, or how would they do that?
I'll make it right now, and it'll be a continuity that'll continue from this one. And somebody has taken all the Michael Myers bits, okay, out of the wood chipper, fed them to a dog. The dog becomes like a Cujo kind of dog, but the dog is also wearing a Michael Myers mask. He's wearing the William Shatner mask. But he's not, but it's got the bottom half cut off so that he can still bite people because a dog can't hold a knife.
That would honestly probably be a better movie than Halloween Ends.
Probably. So, what would you score Halloween Ends out of 10?
It's kind of hard 'cause as much as it pisses me off,
Yeah.
like it does look good. Like
Yeah.
it's just like there's some kind of cool parts and visually it's good. So
Mhm.
I'd have to just give it like five. Like it's just
Yeah.
too plain. I almost wish it was bad. Like if it was so
Yeah.
bad it's good, it would have been more fun. But it was just kind of plain and not that interesting. So five.
We're in the handholding club again. We've been in the handholding club a lot on this series. So, I'm going to go for a 5 as well. The whole Christine thing was goofy. I thought it was so clever. It was so funny. I told my wife afterwards, and she was laughing at me because it was so silly that I thought I was so clever. But Jamie Lee Curtis is a fantastic actress. Like she's really good in this. She's really good in all of the ones that she's been in so far, with the exception of maybe Resurrection because she was only in it for 5 minutes. But the girl that plays Allison is a really good actress too. Like she was really good. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, the first of the David Gordon Green trilogy was her first on-screen experience. Like it was
Hmm.
introducing her. So I thought that fantastic. Like she's really good. So hopefully she's going to be in more things going forward. And yeah, maybe the next iteration of Halloween will bring Danielle Harris back and she'll be Jamie Lloyd as the killer.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? All right. So, thank you for joining us on our exploration of the Halloween series. Brandon's channel again is Brandon versus Movies. Please subscribe to it. Subscribe to me as well. You can see more conversations like this one. Up in the future, in the very near future, we're going to be doing the Hostel series on Brandon's channel, and we're going to be doing the Hatchet series on my channel. So we're going to be kind of calling back to Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees in some of the most popular Friday the 13th movies, is the killer in Hatchet, and they all star Danielle Harris as well from the Halloween series. So join us then, and thank you very much.